This is the new Vauxhall Astra VXR, and it could win you a game of top trumps because it's the most powerful front-wheel drive hot hatch currently on sale. Now under there you've got a 2-litre turbo engine with 276 brake horsepower, which is good for 0 to 62 miles an hour in just 5.9 seconds. The VXR is based on the beautiful Astra GTC, which is a very good starting point. However, Vauxhall has beefed it up with a muscular body kit, huge alloy wheels and a rear spoiler. Go for the optional aero kit and you actually get 2 rear spoilers. Inside there's the familiar Astra dash, only it's highlighted with some VXR badging and racier dials. There's also a sporty gear knob and some new pedals. The biggest change, however, are the low-slung yet comfy body-hugging VXR sport seats. Hot hatches are supposed to be fun but also practical. In this respect, the Astra VXR excels because, for starters, it's got an absolutely huge boot. Now I do apologise for the mess here in the back, but one of my colleagues used the car to take his golden waist to the tip. It's also got plenty of in-car storage. I mean, look at that. There's loads of cubbies dotted about the place. And space in the back here, as you can see, I've got loads of room, and it actually shames some family cars. And that means it's going to be much easier for you to convince your wife or your partner that this is an absolutely okay car for you to buy. That's right, even though this car looks as tough as cement, you really can live with it every day, because when you have it in normal mode, the standard fit adaptive suspension makes it bearable in town. This means that if your partner insists on coming along with you for the test drive at the dealers, there's going to be nothing really to put them off about this car. However, a word of warning, whatever you do, don't press that button there, because if you do, all hell breaks loose. Oh God, I can't resist it. Now we're in VXR mode, and that means the suspension has stiffened up. In fact, it's become rock hard. Also, the throttle response is sharper and the steering has become more weighty. Speaking of which, Vauxhall hasn't used the standard electrical power steering system of the normal Astra GTC. They've given it an old-fashioned hydraulic setup for a bit more feedback, and that's really important actually when you've got 400 Newton meters of torque going through the front wheels. To help this car put all of its grunt down onto the road, Vauxhall has also fitted it with a mechanical limited slip differential to give it a bit more grip when exiting corners, and I'll tell you what, actually it works superbly well because this car has more grip than any other hot hatch I've driven, and as a result you actually drive it slightly differently. Normally, if I was going into a corner a little bit too hard, I'd lift off the throttle and that would cause the nose to tuck in and help tighten my turn. However, with this car, you actually do the exact opposite. You actually apply more throttle, and normally that would have you kind of understeering and going straight on and careering off the road. But in this car, somehow, the limited slip diff actually causes the tyres to bite into the tarmac even harder, and it somehow just scrabbles its way round like a cat on carpet. However, that brings me on to this car's downsides, and I don't think it's quite as much fun or as playful as a super adjustable Renault Sport Megane Cup. It doesn't feel as fast either as a VW Scirocco R, despite the fact it has more power, and the reason for that is that the engine, it's a little bit laggy. You know, it doesn't really pull hard until you pass 3,000 RPM when the turbo really comes on boost. And despite those huge exhausts out the back, it doesn't sound that great either. It all just makes this kind of whooshing sound. Perhaps the biggest problem for me with this car though is that while I've no doubt it'll be completely awesome on the track, if the surface that you're driving on isn't as smooth as a baby's bottom, it can get a little bit unruly. Now, it's nowhere near as bad as the old Astra VXR, and that's because Vauxhall have fitted it with their new Strut front suspension, which helps eliminate torque steer. That said, if you do accelerate hard over an uneven surface, the wheel does squirm a bit in your hands. Also, when you're driving in VXR mode, the firm suspension can cause the car to tramline quite a bit. And really, on a British B road, it doesn't feel as composed as the ultra unflappable Ford Focus ST. But hey, you might want your hot hatch to have a little bit of a wild side, or you might just want the most powerful car in its class. Either way, the Vauxhall Astra VXR impresses, and it also looks every bit as fast as it goes. Subscribe to the CarBuyer channel for our latest videos. Click here to see our reviews of other sports cars, and don't forget to rate, share, favourite and comment on this video.